What is up, guys? Sonduren here. I have to follow up on this video and everything that's going on. Another news story broke out in Milton. A woman was robbed, armed robbery. They broke into her window, punched her in the face, dragged her out. They basically smashed her car in first and then stole her vehicle. And really, I just think we're too soft on crime, and this is what's happening. I made a previous video. I talked about this. In 2023, 54 cars are being stolen every day in the Greater Toronto area. That's just insane to me that this is happening in Canada. Most people think Canada is safe. Canada is like this heaven. Yet literally what's happening around us is that crime is increasing significantly, and specifically auto crime. Auto crime is up 47% year over year in the GTA in Toronto, depending on what pockets you're tracking in the GTA. And honestly, we see it continuing happening. It's now what, February? We're at the end of February, and we're still seeing these stories come out. It's not just one-off, anecdotal stories, but the numbers suggest that these numbers continue to increase, and the violence is increasing as well. And honestly, what does it come to at the end of the day? I really do believe that we do not have serious consequences for these criminals in Canada to the point where they're being deterred from doing this. Like, let's think about it here. If there were some serious consequences attached from armed robbery and stealing people's vehicles and beating them up and threatening to kill them over their cars, I don't think as many people would be doing this as what's happening right now. And a lot of these, by the way, a lot of these people, when they do get caught, they're also released back out. So they might have a very small bail, whatever it is, and they're released back out to do this again and again and again. And I completely understand, like, this isn't, one or two people doing it. There's a lot of organized crime around this. But at the end of the day, the people that are committing these crimes, they're doing an analysis, right? The cost analysis. What is the risk and benefit? And, they're stealing these cars and they're sending them overseas through the port of Montreal for upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars for these vehicles. And really, what's happening? What's happening is there's no consequences, being applied to the majority of these folks. And don't get me wrong, I understand that the police are doing these one-off busts, but it's not enough. I don't care whatever they say across the Port Authority, the RCMP, the Toronto Police, the Peel Police. It is not enough. Clearly it's not enough. This is continuing to happen. The numbers suggest that it's also increasingly happening more and more frequently. And honestly, I really believe that this is a huge problem for Ontario and the GTA today, and not enough is being done. We are too lenient on criminals. That is the problem. And I don't understand why we've come to this point where we are this lenient to criminals. I actually don't get it, right? We have laws in place for a reason. It's obvious to everybody here, you're watching this video, you shouldn't be going out robbing vehicles. And if you are, normal people like me and you expect that they would have consequences, serious consequences. Like, it seems serious to me if somebody comes to me at gunpoint to take my vehicle and steal my possessions. That is a serious crime. And for a lot of the criminals out there, they're being caught and released back out, and they're continuing to do it again and again and again. And I'm going to go ahead, look at this example. This is the violent carjacking in Milton. She was dragged from her car, thrown on the ground in, again, broad daylight. And by the way, these robberies, they're not just happening at night. They're happening everywhere in public places throughout the day and night. It's literally happening all the time now. It's insane. So this poor woman, it was in Milton, Ontario. She was dragged out of her vehicle. It happened around 9:40 a.m. in a busy plaza. And basically what happened was, there's a video. She's in her 50s. She's seated in the driver's seat of her Honda CRV. And two men smash the side of her vehicle. They smash her window, open the door, and forcibly remove her from the car. And so this is pretty shocking. Fortunately, these are non-life-threatening injuries for her, but there's been lots of incidences that have happened in the GTA where people have been killed to steal these basically hunks of metal with wheels. And all this is happening because we do not have the protections in place for our citizens to make sure that when these crimes do happen, there are serious consequences for them. And unfortunately, that's not happening. And look, completely being transparent and honest with you, we live in a society of rules and laws, and we're in Canada. And I expect that we hold up every single one of us to those rules and laws. And I do not understand why our government, our police service, and everybody that is in the entire program of our society to help enforce these rules do not properly enforce these rules on criminals. You know, I think about it, it's like we're enforcing rules on regular average Joes, on tax rules and all this, and we're falling down hard on them. But when people are stealing your vehicles and putting your life at risk, we're catching them and then releasing them. I get a parking ticket when I go to Toronto. I'm not giving no leniency. I'm paying a hefty parking ticket fine. I'm pretty sure I paid a $500 parking ticket. But okay, I suffered the consequences, right? Are these criminals suffering the appropriate consequence for putting people in a hostage situation, potentially putting their lives and their families' lives at risk, and potentially threatening their lives and putting their lives at risk, and then losing a valuable possession? Like, don't get me wrong, I love cars, you know, Cars with Sonduren. This is a channel all about cars and vehicles, but at the end of the day, it's metal. It's metal with rubber wheels. And this is what is happening right now. Our lives are being put at risk because our government and our police authorities have just allowed this to continue to happen. That's it. And don't get me wrong. I understand the OEMs are at fault to a degree. They should be providing protections in these vehicles to be better, right? To stop against this theft. But at the end of the day, how do you stop this theft from happening? How do you discourage would-be criminals from continuing to do this? You have to have very strict laws in place, and you got to press charges on them to the degree that it's not going to allow people to say in this risk-benefit analysis that it's worth it to do it. We should be hitting them hard with consequences, with jail time, whatever that is. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the exact right thing that we need to do in terms of the punishment. All I know is this. We have to increase the punishment significantly, because right now it's every man for himself. They think they can just go rob every single car on the street and suffer no consequences. And that's really what I see happening. It's honestly, like, I actually feel like for me and my family, my friends, I worry for them, right? Like, no matter where they go, no matter where they park, daytime or nighttime, they're at risk. You never know. Just like this woman, this poor woman just sitting in her car, just smashed, broken in, punched in the face, dragged out of her vehicle, and car's gone and stolen, you know? And you know what? How sad does this sound? That feels like it's not the worst outcome. Like, I feel like she got away lucky. It could have ended out worse for her. And so, like, I really, again, I'm just sharing this because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with our police authorities in Canada. I'm frustrated by our government. I'm frustrated by the Port Authority. I'm frustrated by the collection of groups that are supposed to keep us safe not doing their job properly. And I don't care, to be honest with you, what initiatives they have, or, you know, the press releases and the, you know, the snippet news pieces of one bust that they do. It's clearly not enough. And so serious action needs to be taken to a degree that we haven't seen before, because right now violence is rampant. Crimes are up. I believe there was a post like in Vaughan, like crimes are up 30% year over year. Auto thefts are up to 47% year over year. Again, 54 cars stolen a day in 2023 in the Halton GTA region. It's just maddening. But those are my thoughts. And I seriously think we really have to start voicing our concern and trying to change things. Or otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest, with our society. And I don't know if we can trust that we're going to be safe when we go out and about and just driving around somewhere and parking our vehicle. You know, it just seems nuts to me. But let me know your thoughts in the comment box down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. I cover everything to do with cars, detailing, reviews, everything like that. And I'm really just making these videos because, like, I'm really concerned right now what's happening in Canada. I'm really concerned what's happening with the crime, and specifically this auto crime, which I think there are things that we can do, right, to just stop this, nip it in the butt, make some serious consequences for these criminals when they get caught, so that they rethink, is this worth it for me to do or not? Right? Because right now, it's basically they're stealing candy from a baby. And that's what's happening right now. And it's dangerous for everyone. For you, for me, my family, my friends, your mom, your dad. Everyone's put in danger because we're allowing this to continue to happen in our communities. So, yeah, let's do something about it. I'm going to keep vocalizing this. I'm going to keep telling it to everybody. I've emailed my MPPs actually about this. And we're going to try to do something, try to change something, because I just can't sit here. It just drives me too insane. Just watch all of this kind of unfold around me and just hope and pray it doesn't impact me. Because right now, it feels like it's impacting a ton of people. And actually, within my close group of friends, 2 of my friends, and this is my close group, have had their vehicles stolen. So, like, it's definitely happening to you. So if you guys know, by the way, your friends, family stories of cars being stolen, share them down below, right? We need to actually voice this up, make it clear that this is happening a lot more frequently than even the numbers and data suggest, so that hopefully somebody with a conscience within our police authority or government will actually strive to go do something about this. All right, guys, let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing your stories and comments. I hope everything's well. I hope you weren't involved in any of these, robberies specifically. Hope you guys keep safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.